Hello friends, welcome to last and the final episode of Belt, Rope and Chain Drive, where the last two types of numericals are left and we'll be covering them. These are the maximum variety of numerical which may be asked from the examination point of view. There are several numericals which you can practice on yourself. Do practice them and make yourself confident. 10 marks are yours, no one can take them away. Let's start. We have been given two types of pulleys in this numerical. The driving pulley is a V belt or V groove type, and the driven pulley is flat belt or flat pulley type, which has no groove angle. So two types of pulleys are there. We have to consider two different uh, design process for the following pulleys. Let's see which pulley to consider for designing the whole system. We cannot design the system based on the two pulleys differently. We have to consider one pulley and design the system accordingly. So what else we have been given? We have been given the diameter of the driving pulley and the speed, the diameter of the driven pulley, the center distance, the mass of the belt, coefficient of friction. Now a new term has been introduced, that is maximum tension, that is 800 Newton. 2 phi. Now the groove angle is always given as directly 38 degree. You have to understand that groove angle is this. So this and this is groove angle, that is 2 phi is equal to 38. So one side will be 19 degree. So we get 5 T max mu CD D D N N M. Okay, so by observation now we can find out alpha for both the pulleys, that is the V belt and that is the flat belt. Now alpha is equal to sine inverse D minus D upon 2C. D is there, small d is there, 2C is there, sine. We can get alpha and we have to convert it into radian. Always remember it in radian. The marks will be gone if you don't convert into radian. No use solving ahead. Next step. For V belt, theta is equal to pi minus 2 alpha. We have alpha, we can find out theta. For flat belt, theta is equal to pi plus 2 alpha, which is somewhat 3.54 radian. Next, now the formula changes for the tension ratio a little bit. It becomes E mu theta upon sine phi, and it remains the same for the flat pulley. Now we have phi, that is 19, mu is given, theta we find out. Mu is given, theta is found out, and we can find out easily 2.4257 radian, that is TFT upon TFS. Similarly, we get 8.1915. Now we have to consider the smaller value, because smaller the value, smaller will be the system and more compact it will be. Therefore, the governing factor for designing the system or designing this particular pulley system will be the flat belt side, that is the driven side. Next, hence the design is governed by bigger pulley, that is driven pulley, or the tight side pulley. Next, TFT upon TFS is equal to E mu theta. We have mu, we have theta, so we can easily find out TFT upon TFS. We have capital N, therefore we can find out velocity of the belt. We found out the velocity of belt. Now we can find out the centrifugal tension from the belt. Mass is known, speed is known, TC can be found out. From the last numerical, we know the formula T max is equal to TFT plus TC. We used to denote it as TT, total tension, that is maximum tension. It has TFT plus TC. Now we have TC and we have T max, that is 800 Newton. Therefore we can easily find out TFT, which will be 725.95. Putting this in this equation, that is we can find out TFS, which is 299.2781 Newton. We have found out both the tension. We have found out satisfactorily the governing parameter. Second is power. Power is force into velocity. So force is the belt tensions into velocity. We can get the power. It is in watt. Always convert it into kilowatt. So 6.7 kilowatt. Now the initial tension, same TFT, TFS, 2TC divided by 2. We get initial tension. This was a numerical where both the pulleys were different. We had to find out the governing factor and then design the system accordingly. Let's see the next numerical in which both the pulleys are of V type and we have to find out the number of belt. In this numerical, we have been given power, the speed, the smaller speed, center distance, the regular data is everything is given. Now we have been given a diagram in the problem. This is the V belt diagram or the pulley diagram. On this the belt will be wound. So the upper ply is 19, lower is 9 and the height is 15. We have to calculate area, that is we need B into T into rho to calculate the area. But here we can calculate it directly, that is half into 19 plus 9 into 15. Always use the bracket, or first calculate this, then multiply this and divided by 2. We get 210 mm square. Remember, it is mm square. I'll tell you why I'm emphasizing it in the later part. Next we have N, we can find out VB, that is velocity of belt. Next, the centrifugal tension can be found out as usual, M into VB square. M is rho AL, that is density into area into length. Let's take a piece of belt. We will be considering its density, the area and the volume it occupies. This will be the total mass, and VB has been found out. So we get TC. Now area was mm square. I always need my units in meter. So mm square will be meter raised to 4, that is 1000 into 1000. That is why we considered 210 upon 1000 into 1000. I hope you understand, it's pretty clear. Next we found out TC. So N upon N is equal to D upon D, that is inverse gear ratio. We get the capital D, which is 900 mm. Simple. We have alpha, that is sin inverse D minus D by 2C. Alpha is there. We get theta pi minus 2 alpha. Always in radian, do not forget. Next, TFT upon TFS is equal to E mu theta upon sin phi. Phi is used because we have been given groove angle. Okay, whenever groove angle is given, use upon sin phi. We get a ratio for TFT and TFS. Again, we have been given maximum, so we can use the maximum. We have TC, we can calculate TFT, which will be 741.40. Putting 741 in this equation, we can get TFS. So both the tensions are known, the velocity of belt is known. Next, we can calculate power. Power is TFT, that is tight side minus slack side into velocity of belt. So we easily get power. Power should be in watt. Dividing it by 1000, we get kilowatt. Now we have to find out the number of belt that is required to transmit this power. The inlet was 38 kilowatt and outlet power is 9787 watt, that is 9.78 kilowatt. So this is the difference. How many belt will be required? Simply divide the higher value with the lower value and we get number of belts required. So Z is equal to 3.88, that is approximately equal to 4. If you are given number of belts as 3.8857, use the 5 value, do not put 4. Use the standard values from the table. The last and the final bit, that is length of the belt. 2c plus pi d plus d by 2 plus d minus d whole square 4c. So we can easily calculate speed of the belt. So these are the 4 types of numerical mainly in the chapter belt, rope and chain drive. Do not get afraid of the chapter, it is very easy. Practice it regularly, and if you have any problem, comment in the section below and I'll be answering each and every problem personally. If you want me to solve some more problem, do comment it and let me know. Thank you and keep sharing. DME 2 will be solving more problems, so keep subscribing, keep sharing to your friends, and I'll be seeing you in the next numerical with a lot more fun, with a lot more theory and a lot more to share. We have 2 more to go, that is worm gear and sliding contact bearing. Sliding contact bearing is mostly theory and worm gear is almost theory and some part is numerical, which is quite easy. Let's revise what we did. We first find out the velocity of belt. Next we find out TFT upon TFS, some value. Next, power is equal to TFT minus TFS into VB. So solving this, we get TFT and TFS. Next, TC is equal to mvb square. We get a value of TC. Then we find out the length and initial tension. This is the process to find out or design a belt. I hope you understand. I'll see you in the next video.